Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Legends of Chima Sparratus' Spider Stalker set. This is set number 70130. It has 292 pieces, and I paid $35 for this set. This is a retired set. This set is from 2014, so 10 years old, going on 11 years old. I've looked at other Legends of Chima sets. I'm not sure if this one's going to have any brittle brown pieces or pieces likely to break. If it does, and they do break, I will get those replaced. Lego is generally pretty good about that. I have a bunch of Legends of Chima sets from this era. In 2014, this retailed for $25. On Bricklink, there seems to be one in the US for $28 on eBay. It seemed like there was for sealed, brand new in box, seemed like there was a whole range of $30 up to $50 or more, and at various other retailers this is quite expensive. Because I bought this when it was already 10 years post-retirement, I anticipated seeing or paying a little bit more. I'm gonna judge the value based on what's in here, taking into account the time, retirement, the production run of this, and also just what's in the box, comparing it to the retail price or the suggested retail price and the price I paid for it, like I do with all kind of retired sets, hidden side stuff, Chima stuff, Nexonite stuff. And this is one of those themes that I completely missed when it was on shelves and in stores, but I've been sort of slowly working my way into more and more, and I do have, I don't even know how many Chima sets I have sealed that are in line to eventually be reviewed on the channel and built, but this is kind of this is the next one that I'm going to be looking at here. So this looks kind of interesting. I'm really excited to see this Sparratus character here and seeing this spider. It does look like a lot of Technic in here, but we'll sort of see what it's got going on. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it while I build. I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So, until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Legends of Chima Sparratus' Spider Stalker set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. If you want to support the channel, you can give money to the channel on YouTube, membership, supers, and thanks. There's a Patreon, there's affiliate links, all that stuff helps. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So first we have the figures, a little bit of a side build, and then we get right into building this Spider Stalker vehicle here. So we're working on the body. It wasn't until partway through the full review that I figured out or looked up what the different parts of a spider body might be. But we are kind of laying the groundwork here. There's a little bit of some hidden stuff. You can see we add some tapered gears in there, so there's some nice functionality to this. I think the colors here are really good. I felt like I was hearing pieces that were maybe brittle brown, that when I was like putting them on, I was like, ooh, did that crack? Maybe like one of the pieces, if looking at it on the kind of anti-stud side, would have shown a little hairline crack or something. I couldn't really tell, but I couldn't see anything from like the visible faces, so I'll have to monitor that going forward. I don't know specifically what pieces are more likely to break in that color than others. We kind of build out the abdomen with some nice features, attach that, build up the head, and then we can work on the legs. So it does have 8 legs, and these use a lot of Technic, but they're really good. I did have a color issue here, I believe, and for some reason the online like PDF instructions for these Chima sets are really low res, so I didn't use those. I used the physical book, and it is finished now, so that's great. I do spend some time kind of playing with this and fiddling around with it, but that's it. So thanks. Now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Legends of Chima Sparratus Spider Stalker set. This is cool. This is better than I thought it was going to be. There have been some spiders built, especially recently. I think there was one in a kind of magical school theme from a movie series and book series. I think there was a spider set that came out. There's maybe been more than one of those. There was just a Creator 3-in-1 that came out that I haven't looked at yet. That was a spider that actually had, at least in my eyes, my colorblind eyes, some similarities to this in the color choices, and so this is really cool, and we will get right into it. And the first thing we will look at is the minifigures. I'm actually going to start with this one because we've seen this minifigure before. I've encountered them. I bought a loose one of these at a Lego convention and have encountered them in other sets. But this is Gorzan or Gorzan. It's a gorilla, or some primate character there, which I don't know. They don't appear to have their own faction necessarily, or their own tribe, but good to get Gorzan here. I really like this accessory. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but they often do kind of buildable little accessories or weapons or different things, and this is similar. It starts with kind of like a camera piece, or this piece that's got like an angled bar coming off of it and then studs on the side. It's a smaller piece than I'm used to seeing. There's other versions of this kind of piece. Put a couple clips on the end. These are the older style clips, so I did feel like they put up a lot of resistance. Clip a couple bananas on there, which is cool. And then we have kind of this hammer or fist looking thing on the front. So I don't specifically know like what this would be used for or used as. I don't know if it's supposed to fire something off, or if it's just supposed to be wielded like any other sort of handheld thing. I don't really know, but I thought this was kind of unique, so good to get that. Looking at Gorzan or Gorzan, we have the special kind of helmet piece there with the printing. So for the marking for the face, the outline there, and as well as the markings on the fur around, and it's a unique kind of shape here, which is nice. The head underneath this is gonna be very similar, but pretty funny. That's the case with a lot of these Chima heads. So the eyes feel really far apart. Do have some of the similar markings. It doesn't have the same either like war paint or pattern in the hair, on the forehead and on the lower kind of jaw cheek area there. Do have the nose, the mouth, couple teeth there. Silly expression. We do have an alternate face where Gorzan is angrier, baring teeth a little more. The mouth is open there. And then moving down from that, we do have the special pauldron armor piece, chest plate stuff there. A couple studs on the back. Have the shoulder kind of armor coming out a little bit. There's a stud on the front where we put a light blue translucent tile on. That looks good. I've seen that before. And then I don't know how many different outfits or different things Gorzan has, but looking at the torso, we can see kind of that blue tile represented here as maybe like the chi power or whatever. I often refer to that as sort of like an arc reactor type looking thing. Armor up here, kind of some straps or chains. I think this is supposed to be like skin there, the musculature. So maybe they don't have a shirt. Maybe they never have a shirt necessarily, but they're an animal of some sort, so it's okay. Detailed printing, I like the asymmetry. I like all the metallic printing in here. Good level of detail. We do have printing on the midsection, which is really nice. Some really, really good detail in there, especially around kind of the belt buckle. And then we have printing on the legs all the way down, up at the top, down in the knee area. Those are actually like a ape head kind of looking emblem there for the knee pads, which I think is really nice. And then we have some stuff down on the feet. They're not dual molded legs or anything like that. No printing on the arms. Back of the torso is similar to the front in a lot of ways. It feels like they are wearing what kind of looks like this armor that has like additional straps coming down. So it's pretty, I think it's pretty nice how this sort of sits on there, and when it's taken off, you still sort of get a representation of that armor, that extra accessory for this character. So good to get that. And then the other one here is Sparratus, who I believe is a sort of a tribe that I don't know if I've encountered much of, but when I was looking in the instructions where they were showing like tribes, I'm guessing sort of from an insect type tribe or arachnid tribe. I couldn't decide, because like a scorpion is still an arachnid, right? Or is it an insect or a bug? You know, I don't know. But this one is supposed to be like a spider thing. And this is really cool too. They actually have some accessories that I'll point out. One of them is just a spear here, standard spear. And the other one you build up a little bit, has the nice kind of axe element there, a little bit of, I think this is yellow or green translucent. Other side we have a black spider piece there, so that's really, really cool. And then looking at the figure itself, I love this helmet, this headpiece. It actually is dual molded, so the fangs, the white there is molded plastic, and then the red, I think that's red, is molded, and then like the kind of color on the top, that's printed. Some of these like ridges around here, I don't know if those would be just different eyes or something, those are all printed on there. A unique shape, extra kind of detail in the mold, and I know that it's dual molded in part because looking underneath here you can see the white plastic there. And so I think this is really, really great. I wouldn't be worried. These are not like flexible fangs or like the more rubberized plastic that they use sometimes. So I feel pretty good about these, and they're gonna hold their color and stuff like that, so that's really nice. And then looking at the head underneath that, they do not have an alternate face. The face kind of looks, a little bit like a tarantula, has the eyes a little bit more wide set than a typical. Also has like the little specks on there for the additional eyes. And then we have the fangs kind of in the mouth area, and it's all sort of kind of outlined with a little bit of sort of colored like fur, like a tarantula might be sort of furry here, or like have hairs on them. Looking at the torso, this is really, really cool. It does have the chi kind of representation there, but it's almost like in a cobweb, in a spider's web, sort of suspended over the pectoral there, kind of on the over the heart maybe, or something like that, if it was a person and not a spider there. Lots of muscle definition there, and that too has kind of some really fine lines and some kind of like fuzzy detail to kind of represent the sort of hair of a tarantula or something there, which is great. I really like that. It's also got something that is like a subtle, almost Spider-Man logo underneath there, and it's a little bit hard to see, but looking at like the colors, you can kind of see legs coming off and going up, and a little bit of a body of a spider. I don't know, I can't remember all the different parts of a spider right now, but is it like not like a thorax, but there's different parts, and it seems like there's some of that there. We do have printing on the midsection, which is very cool. Printing on the legs all the way up at the top, kind of has like a skirt type of stuff, or a I don't know what we would call it for this character, but a skirt seems fine. Good detail in there. Opacity of that color doesn't quite match up with like the hands or the midsection, but that's okay. Have on the knees sort of a spider looking head emblem, and then down on the feet we have like these look like little fangs, but also maybe spider or leg type things or something down there. So those are a little bit strange. No printing on the arms, and then printing on the back has kind of more of that spider web, and it has a slightly different kind of color emblem, tribe symbol maybe in here. So that's really great. I like this figure a lot. I really like the helmet piece, and I think the torso is quite good as well. Pretty specialized, but these are like spooky and unique and cool. I'll just show actually the back of the instructions, what I was talking about, because sometimes they'll show different stuff here. So I don't know if this is like Chima season 2. It seems like if this is a tribe and this is an opposing tribe, maybe it seems like the lions or whatever have teamed up with the eagles, or they were always kind of on the same side. Gorzan's sort of in that as well, but like Krager and Rogan, I thought maybe were in opposition. So these are like rhinos here. Krager is a like alligator, crocodile, alidile type tribe, and I thought that some of these were not friendly in various other sets. So I'm not sure if this is actually supposed to sort of show the difference there. But then we have this other one. So Sparratus is down here, and I am really interested in getting more of these. Spinlin has actually like a minifig torso kind of on a built out spider body there. That looks really cool. Sparracon has like a big accessory and also has kind of like these iron spider like legs there. Scudder, I think, is supposed to be, you know, a scorpion there. Scorm is, I think, supposed to be a scorpion there. So those are different head shapes, which looks really great. So to me, it seems like we got like scorpions and spiders sort of teamed up here, which I think are all arachnids. You know, this one looks a little bit more basic. Sparratus here is one of the more basic ones compared to some of these other ones. And then over here, I believe these are supposed to be bats. So Braptor and Ballista. They only come in a couple sets, but you can see these sets these characters come in. So I'll have to try to get like the Scudder set that has that there. But then we have the bats, which might be on the same team as the arachnids. Those look really interesting too. The big ears there, having the wings, and looks like a lot of detail on the prints, which is true for a lot of these Chima figures. So I thought that was really great to see like a new tribe represented, and a new kind of animal or a new kind of figure here. So I really like that. I'll try to get some of these sets that have these other characters in them, and I'm trying to see if, you know, so okay, Rogan would be in one that has Spinlin, and Eris would be in that one, and yeah, I'll have to see. I know I actually might have some of the ones that have these characters, but I don't know if I have, for example, 70129, so I will look into that. But that's really cool. Then besides the figures here, we do have a little bit of a side build. Super basic, uses that angled plate there. Build that up a little bit with some clips, different stuff. We got the sprig of grass. We have the spider web there, and then we have a red spider piece on the back, kind of studded on there. In front of that, we have one of the gems that's used in the Speed Ores game, but also is like a chi power gem or something like that. And I'm realizing now that I'm looking that like this is Legends of Chima Outlands 2014. So I don't know the seasons necessarily or how this all went, but there's different kind of maybe sub themes or sub storylines. I've looked at, you know, the ones that had like the saber-toothed tigers, and that was like more of a Arctic type of or a tundra sort of environment, and this one's maybe more of a desert-like environment or something. So it makes a little bit of sense there. But this is just a small little side build, which is okay. And then the rest of the build is this spider Stalker. So this is really cool. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. From the box, yeah, I guess it just seemed a little bit smaller than this to me. But this is great. I enjoyed the build, and there's some cool stuff in here. First thing I'll point out is there are stickers. Sticker sheet is over here. I did not mind these at all, and actually for some of them, I really, really liked it. There's a sticker up here. There's two down here, and I would like to kind of point out this sort of gray that they have there is kind of like sparkly almost, and it's got like a different texture. So these stickers felt a little bit different. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then looking at the back, like this one is kind of all that kind of gray sort of gunmetal color, but it's got an interesting texture that I'm not used to feeling, and the color really, really looks great. And then we have the one on the back here, which has a little bit of that gray kind of popping through. So that's really, really nice. And then thinking about the build of this, we start relatively basic, you know, some plates on top of plates, and pretty early on we build out kind of what's going to shape out the body. We do add a gearbox, which is pretty much all covered up at this point, but I can pop these off. Oh no, it's not visible there either. It's a couple layers down, but there's one of those like gearboxes that we can put the tapered gears into. And you do use like 3 gears in there, which is cool. The body is built up. There's a little bit of like studs on the side. There's some like mixel joint, ball joint pieces which come into use. There's just, you know, different slopes, different pieces used. It's actually not like super, super tall or thick at like the body. There is some Technic in there, of course, because of like, oh yeah, here you can kind of see a little bit of that gearbox. There is some Technic. There is some good brick building as well. Looking at like the face, looking at this from the front, we have some fangs here. These can be articulated themselves, which is nice. We have the kind of representation of eyes there. There's just 4 of them, but I think that's what those are supposed to be, those red translucent bits there. I think the shape of the front is really nice. The curve of the front is really nice, especially when like kind of the cockpit or the seating area where Sparratus might occupy is right in here. So I like that little pop of color in there. And then we do have the back of the spider, which I don't know if that's again like a I don't know. Let me see if I can pull something up. There's the abdomen and the thorax, and so the thorax is what? Oh boy. There's the head. The thorax is the like middle section, and then the abdomen is the like back section here, and then there's like usually the spinnerets and stuff like that. So I would call this the abdomen sort of element here, which might have like, if it had webs, it might come out of this spot. And this is interesting. It's connected on these Technic L beams, and we do see a bit of the Technic here. You know, we see some of that blue. Those also appear on all of the legs. We do see the red here. The red doesn't bother me as much. I mean, frankly, the blue doesn't bother me that much either, because I don't know, spiders can be lots of different colors, and sometimes in nature, like frogs that are like crazy colored, and octopi that are crazy colored, and some insects that are like crazy colored maybe makes them more dangerous, less dangerous. I'm not really sure. And you know, the color pattern here doesn't really bother me. Seeing those odd Technic colors does not really bother me. But we have this back here, and this can like lean up, something like that. You can lean it back a little bit, so it actually pivots in kind of an interesting way. So this part can go up and down, but it is limited. It can't go like all the way 90 degrees. It can't go forward nearly as far. And then when we lift up and hinge kind of these L-beams there, we can't quite, if it's like all the way up, we can't get this to level, can't get it to 90 degrees. So it's usually, if I want this to be level, we kind of have it up like that. There's good friction in there. I'm not too worried about this like coming down on its own or anything. And so you can kind of position that how one would like. The build for this is super simple, but there is some good stuff. And then this does have some projectiles kind of added into it. So if you see these disc pieces here, which look very cool, those are printed. So that's like the translucent green or trans yellow color with kind of a spider web like printing on them. And those are projectiles that can be fired out. And we do have like a little mechanism there. So these are similar to like flick missiles that sometimes Lego does. Here's a kind of better look at the printing that's on there. And they would be like the flick things, but they do put these Technic axles with the like stopper on them on the back. And so you can actuate those to trigger these. It doesn't always work, but I find that if I don't like put these in all the way, the Technic pin part in all the way, I have better success at launching those out of there. And then, you know, we do have some ability to aim those a little bit just because of the movement of the abdomen there. I think they look cool when they're in there. It doesn't look bad, frankly, when they're not in there either. That one went pretty good. So we have all of that, and then we have the legs. So the 8 legs here, it does have 8 legs, but they don't maybe attach in the appropriate way, and they don't maybe function in the way I typically see them, I feel like, but I'm not positive. So the 3 legs on either side, which makes up 6, are all kind of connected at like a central point kind of in the thorax like area, or the cephalothorax, the fovea kind of thing. I am trying to see. The cephalothorax, we'll call it that, is kind of connected there. And so we have one of those like Technic kind of 3-pronged axle pieces with the axle hole coming down. Those are all like connected with Technic in here, but then that's how we get this nice angle, like 120 degrees between these 2 legs. These legs are then built identical with just some Technic axles and different stuff. Use these nice claw like or teeth like pieces at the very end. They're rigid, they're not like rubbery at all, and so it feels very stable to use that. We do add like a half beam on either side to, you know, add more black in there, but also maybe more rigidity, more structure, strength there. They do have these little these nice little additions, which are like little fangs or little glowing parts in that trans green, trans yellow color. And they have like the little, excuse me, the fang type pieces in there as well. These legs, like this one, this one, this one, and this one, so 4 of the 8 legs are stationary, they don't move. The ones that go through in between them, those can move really easily there. So because we have like all of this Technic axles kind of coming through here, we put this one with the stud on top all the way through, like a key ring piece through the bottom of that tri-axle piece, and then we add another kind of beam there with an axle hole and a pinhole, and so these just slot in there like that. So these can be moved around, which is actually useful. You know, we can't move these really. You're not supposed to in any real way, but like being able to move these at least forward and backward does allow you to kind of make this look a little bit more organic, like it might be moving or something, because the middle leg here can move when like the other 4 kind of structural legs in this instance don't move at all. And then we have the front 2 legs, which are built a little bit differently, and these can move. You've maybe seen them kind of moving around as I've been handling this, but this has a little bit of a walking feature like that. So that's what the gearbox is used for. There's a little knob back here, and I also like totally buy this as, you know, it's not on the abdomen, but if I was to be told that these were spinnerets or this is a spinneret thing or something, it's nicely hidden underneath there. There's a gear in there, some Technic axle that goes all the way through to the gearbox, which is in here, and then we can move these up and down. Actually, when this is like stationary on the ground, they can go down further than the surface might be, and then they do have these kind of Technic pins with the mixel joint on them to like stop those, but like on a surface, these aren't going to interact with those. It's only when this is like lifted up that you might need the stopper. So when it's normally on the ground, you can have kind of one up and one down, and there's not a great way to have them like both up, except if they're in a middle kind of area there. If you want them like both up all the way, you'd have to adjust, and it would be, I think, doable. No, would it? No, I'm not I don't think so. I'm trying to imagine the gearbox and what could be done if we wanted these to just operate in tandem, you know, at the same time. But and there probably is a simple mod that could be done, but you might have to get into that gearbox and change sort of how it is. It actually would probably be a simpler mechanism to do that, but I don't know. That's something to experiment with, but that is a really satisfying look for those 2 front legs. It does feel like in conjunction with this, you can kind of move these and make it look like it's crawling around, and it's cool when like handling this. They might kind of move a little bit on their own, sort of, or whatever. I think that's really, really good. If this was ever like propped up and those were like actuated, it'd be pretty cool, and it's just super satisfying to me. I was very pleased to finish this, to be able to see that. It feels like super stable for the most part. There's a little bit of give just by just the nature of some of these Technic things here, and these legs are pretty slim. I think they look really good. Actually, they feel proportional to the rest of the body, the abdomen, the cephalothorax, the head area. It feels like these are similar. They're bent in a nice way. They feel creepy crawly. The ones that move is appreciated. The ones that are stationary feel really nice and look nice as well. So I think that's really great. I can actually put Sparratus in here so we can see what that looks like. They can sit right in there. I think it looks really good with a figure in there as well. Very Chima, very cool. Here, their vehicles look like their tribe kind of species, I feel like, oftentimes. So that's really, really great. And I realize I did not pick up the, oh wait, yes I did, the extra projectile here. And then, we have the accessories here. One of the things I always like to point out is when there's storage for those, we got a couple clips on the back. And so when Sparratus is in the driver's seat, we can place these on the back there, still have access to this, no problem. They don't look too out of place. They don't like stand out. It feels like they fit, and I always appreciate a simple thing like that to have some storage for the accessories here for this character. Of course, they could also maybe be holding on to one when they're in the kind of operating seat there, but it's nice to have a place to put them. I think this is really cool. The side build is not a ton of like, I don't know what the play pattern is or like how this would like interact with this, but and Gorzon doesn't have their own vehicle or anything like that, but I really, really like this set. I think it's really great. I'll show the extra pieces because you do get some. Nothing too crazy. A lot of Technic, pins, half pins. Your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, the fang pieces or the claw pieces, the smallest barb piece in that nice color. Couple of the like translucent studs, an extra of the tapered gear, which surprised me. I don't think I missed anything. The inventory at the back said there was only 3 of these, but I had 4. I don't know if that's typically a piece that's an extra piece based on weight, but that's okay. All of your little pieces there, your tiny pieces. And this set is 292 pieces, 2 minifigures. I paid $35 for it. It came out and retired in 2014, over 10 years ago now, and it retailed for $25 in 2014. So let me see if I can do a quick calculation. Let's see here. $25 in 2014 is worth about $33 in 2025. I paid $35 for this. The market price, like on Brickset, it's saying the value used is approximately $38.85. I've seen there's one on Bricklink, I believe, in the US sealed that is less than 30, which feels really, really good. There's some on eBay that the price ranges a lot. I think just like complete built, used, not new in box, not sealed, anywhere from 10, 15, 20, maybe more for this. And then for new in box, I saw a big range as well, maybe up to $50 or anything in there. Thinking about this, based on the retirement, based on like the theme, the quality of the minifigures in here, the actual build, like the amount of stuff, I think $25 for this. If we could get sets like this for $25 in 2025, that would be great. I don't know what the other Lego Spider from a licensed theme about magic that came out recently retails at, and I don't know if it's as big as this or as robust or has many features. I don't know if the figures are as cool or interesting to me, but I also don't know what the piece count is for that one to compare this to that. But this feels like, for $25, a good value. For $35, it is in line or approximately in line with inflation, and so that is fine to me. Frankly, would this set come out and be $35 in 2025? I wouldn't be surprised. Lego, I haven't still to this day, I don't have a firm grasp of like what goes into how they price things. I feel like I know a little bit, and then in other times I'm like very surprised by a value, a really good value or a really bad value or poor value. Sometimes they get it right on the money, it feels like. So I don't know. I paid $35 for this. I don't regret that at all. I think this is worth that to me. This is really cool. I like this figure a lot, and I like this spider a lot more than I thought. And it gets me into like more Chima, because now I really want to see some of those scorpion figures and some of the other like tribes and vehicles and different stuff that I haven't encountered yet with my admittedly pretty shallow wading into this theme. So I really like this. I think I got a fine deal. Happy with this, happy to be able to build it, happy to talk about it, and I think that's it. So great. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more LEGO Legends of Chima, and then tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. It would be incredible to get there. I appreciate all the help. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. It means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And then if you wanted to support the channel in a different way, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. That's like, yeah, giving money to the channel. You can also do that on Patreon. There's a link in the video description, patreon.com/SoBricks. All that stuff really helps. There's also affiliate links in the description of all my videos, and how that works is if you click on one of those and shop at that place, even if you're not buying like that specific product, I believe I still might get a small commission. I'm not 100% sure because it hasn't happened yet, but if you're going to be buying something anyway, it is like for yourself, that's a pretty cool way to support, because I might get a fraction of a penny, but you still just spend the same amount of money buying something you otherwise would have bought anyway. And so that's meaningful, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.